to First Lady Vlogmas. You are here with yours truly, Taylor Perkins. Welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, I'm so happy to have you for the first time. Quick intro about what this channel is all about. This channel was created for women, wives in ministry, married to someone in ministry, just kind of reaching out and giving a platform, an open place where we can come together, talk about issues. And the whole idea is that we're not going through anything by ourselves. Today, we are talking about insecurities. Oh, such a big word. So we know that when we talk about insecurities in 2018, a lot of the times we're talking about physicalities of women, weight, body shape, facial features, just a bunch of different things. What are they? What are insecurities? The issue is I just am not comfortable. I just don't believe in myself. I don't believe that I have what it takes. I don't believe that I am this, whatever this is. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am worthy. I am capable. We have these disbeliefs that live in our heart. Because I think we all have these moments sometimes where we're like, oh my gosh, Lord, could you pull this together for me, please? Because I don't know what's going on. We all have those doubtful moments, but to live in a constant state of disbelief is just at the baseline, the definition of an insecurity. The first step to overcoming an insecurity is to admit that you have indeed an insecurity. I feel like everyone knows that the first step is admitting you have a problem, right? But in this case, it really is true, because sometimes when we fail to be honest with ourselves, we can put a real issue on the back burner for like years at a time. That's where we're starting today. We're starting at the baseline of what an insecurity is. Again, this is different from having a struggle in the moment. This is different from having a bad day. But again, this is like a mindset in your life. I do not believe that I can do this. With that said, I'm going to start with an insecurity of mine, right? Lady Taylor Perkins P right here. I struggle to consistently believe that I am enough, that I have what it takes to live my life with my husband, my children, jobs, friendships. It's the struggle to believe that I can actually fulfill the roles that I've been placed in. Am I good enough to do this? Can I do this always? That's just my example of an insecurity, a real example of an insecurity. From a first lady standpoint, as well as just a woman's standpoint, I just want to encourage my younger ladies. I want to encourage my middle-aged ladies. I want to encourage my senior elders to me ladies, to just evaluate yourself. I think that me addressing my insecurities began the day that I became honest that I had them. No longer adding or building on to the facade that I had everything that I needed, because I knew in my heart that's not how I felt. And the moment that I was honest about what I was feeling and how I was feeling about myself and what I thought about myself, it was such a freeing moment, because we feel vulnerable to even say that we're insecure because the stigma is so bad, especially people who are in leadership. You feel like you're supposed to have it all together. And insecurities are real. They are so very real, and they plague you. It's like a dark cloud over your head, and it can affect any part of your life. You think you can't do anything right. You think that you'll never be good, no matter how much good you've done. And so it becomes this weight on you, and it's so hard sometimes to lift it. But I think for me, and I'm very grateful to have gone through it and to be on my way to deliverance. I think that's where I am in my process, on my way to deliverance, because in my mind I never thought that I would be delivered from it. In my mind I never thought that I would just be comfortable, not caring what people thought, not caring how people perceive me, not caring how I was viewed. I never thought that I would be free from that. And so, but now I can see the light. I mean, it sounds kind of saved, no pun intended. I can see the light, but I can see the light, because it just took me being honest that I had them. The denial of it kept me in insecurities for much longer than I needed to be. So just admitting that you have them, admitting to God, admitting to someone that you trust that it's something that I'm struggling with, and I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to be confined. I don't want to care about other people. I don't want to be in a box so that other people can approve of how I look, how I sound, what I do, how I feel. I don't want to live for people. I just want to live for God. And so I'm just extremely grateful. I feel blessed, and I don't mind being transparent. I feel blessed to have gone through it, to be able to share just a few things that God has given me, because if it can help anyone to not go down that path, or if you're on that path, to get off of the path, if it can help anyone, it was worth the years of torture, because maybe you won't have to go through it anymore. I just honestly feel so free, and I'm not out of the woods. I'm not in the clear, but I honestly feel so free knowing that God wanted me the way that I was. And when he decides to change something, I know it's not for any other ulterior motive. I know it's not because he doesn't think I'm good enough. I know it's not because he doesn't think I'm capable. I know that he is changing me because he genuinely loves, cares about me, and wants what's best for me, and knows what's best for me. And I can trust his change in my life. I can trust his adjustments in my life. I can trust his shapings and his moldings in my life, because I know that at the purest form, I'm his creation. And I know that I was created to do a good work. And so I can't do that if I'm not in the right position. And so for him to change me, for him to shape me, for him to mold me, it means everything to me. When we have insecurities that go unaddressed, they end up developing into fears. We begin to be fearful about what we can do, about trying to do new things, because we live in a state of constant doubt. We don't even try sometimes to aim for the things that could be immediately within our reach. The truth is that sometimes it's easier. It's easier to never try, and then you would never say that you failed, than to try something and to fail. Because if you don't try, you're never taking a risk. You don't have an option to get there and get it done or not, because you're just not putting yourself out there. But I think for us, we expect and we want that instant gratification, and the fear that we're not going to get it, the fear that we're not going to get validation, that we're not going to get noticed, that we're not going to accomplish the task that we put before us, the fear that that's not going to happen, it just stops us from trying altogether. So what do? What is the remedy to insecurity? I do believe that I have 4 things that can help you get started. My sincere prayer is that you would begin to develop a belief in your heart that would change your outlook on yourself, and not continue to change your outer appearance. Remedy number 1. Try your absolute best in all you do. Why is that a remedy to insecurity? It's a good question. Let me tell you why. Trying your best and giving your all eliminates the doubt that you did everything that you could do. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes things plop and things fail because we didn't give our all. Not because it could not have worked, not because it could not have happened, but it's just a simple fact that our effort was lackluster. And then you look at the result and think, well, if I was good, if I was beautiful, if I was capable, it would have just happened. And that's not necessarily an equivalent. You just have to give your all and be honest when you didn't. If something blows up, the first thing that you should do is check yourself. Like at the end of the day, you walk away from the situation knowing I gave my best. I worked my hardest. Everything that I had, I laid it down. If they didn't like it, if they didn't want it, if they said it wasn't good enough, that has nothing to do with me, period. Now I'm going to tell you why this is so important, because we give credence sometimes to things that we cannot control. And this is just one of those things that you can control. You can control your level of effort. Next, now this is a point to faith. Sometimes you just have to believe in divine will. We can ask for things and we may get them or we may not. We all have this element of receiving and understanding that God has a plan for our lives. And if you are genuinely connected to Him, if you're truly seeking out His will for your life and His plan, His path for you, you do have to accept that there are some things that you will get in your life that you want, and there are some things that you will get in your life that you never asked for. We don't need to have a lack of effort because we say that God has a divine will. Well, God's going to do what He wants to do anyway, so I don't really have to be that involved, invested. That's not how that works. That's not true. One of my favorite scriptures is a proverb, and it says, the war horse is prepared for battle, but the victory is the Lord's. And so you have this awesome responsibility to be the best that you can be, but know that the victory belongs to the Lord. Whether you're going to win or lose, whether it's going to happen or not, those are not always necessarily on you. Sometimes it just is the way that it is. Here's where we use the word that we're very familiar with, confident. Okay? But it's a little bit different than the confidence that you would hear in the world. Be confident in yourself. Be confident in what you can do. Yes, but no. On this channel, okay, we're not confident in ourselves. Okay? Because I don't believe that really brings true confidence. I'm going to tell you why. If you're a believer in Christ, then you understand that we were all born and shaped in iniquity. You understand that there's nothing innately good about any of us. Someone came and called Jesus a good teacher, and He responded to the man, why are you calling me good? No one is good. No man is good. Now listen, if this is Jesus talking, I don't think you or I have a claim to being good. The Spirit living inside of you, it propels you and it pushes you and it convicts you and it moves you to be Christ-like. What good you see in me, it comes from the Father. Make no mistake about that. And so, when I say confidence on this channel, I am talking about the genuine, real confidence that we have in Christ. I literally right now am no better than a drug dealer on the street. I'm no better than the pimp or the prostitute. You have to believe that in your heart. I just want to throw that plug in because society will tell you be confident in who you are. You shouldn't, because you're not good. We have to be confident in the things that God has given us. If He's given you a task, be confident that you're the person for the task. And this isn't just ministry related only. This is plenty of things, because I struggle with this as a wife. If I'm called to be a wife, I have to be confident in being a wife. Own your role. Know your role. Own your role, live your role, because at the end of the day, your deficit in doing that, not only can it produce insecurities, but it produces gaps in places that it just should not produce gaps. Like, it doesn't have to look like anybody else's stuff. It doesn't have to mimic anybody else. It doesn't have to look quote unquote normal, as sometimes we say, but just being confident that if God has given me a place, I own that place. In your rawest form, it's the belief that you have what it takes to get the job done. Sometimes when we look at situations or we look at the task ahead, we think to ourselves like, oh my gosh, I don't think that I can do that. And where you are right now, you might not be able to. But that doesn't mean that He won't give you what you need to accomplish the task. It doesn't mean that He won't equip you, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't already have it within you to accomplish it. It just means that you have to stay with Him, because He holds the keys to whatever it is that you're doing. So you can't be here and then go rogue on God and then expect things to work out, because at the end of the day, it's Him that anchors you and that feeds you and nourishes you. So yeah, if you're out there on your own winging it with no help, it would be likely that you feel very insecure. And again, remain pliable, that God can change you and mold you and shape you for the task ahead. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting that you're not. Stop doubting that you can't. And just believe that God is doing a work in you. I'm going to throw a plug in. This has come up in conversation, and I just want to go ahead and address it. I've accepted the fact that I'm not good, and I'm no longer trying to behavior modify to make myself feel better about myself. I'm not trying to not cuss. I'm not trying to not sin. I'm not trying to not lust. As much as I am just trying to please my Father. But my focus has shifted from trying to not mess up to just trying to love. So it's a shift. And I just want to say that because I'm not confidence is so much of what we think about ourselves and what other people think about us, and we just never connect it to our Father. And everything that we should be confident in should be connected to our Father. And then lastly, just the ability to be obedient. It sounds simple, but it can be so hard if we are alive in our will. Most times, God does not necessarily tell us to do things that we want to do. Most times, it's outside of our comfort zone. God gives us direction, and following that direction takes the understanding of knowing that it will not always look the way you thought or wanted, but just kind of trusting that if this is what God has put in place and set in motion, then this is what it's supposed to be. We have to trust that where he's leading us is a green pasture, even if that means we walk through the valley of death, even if that means we have to climb up some mountains, because mountaintop experiences are awesome, but climbing up the mountain just to get there requires a whole different level of energy and effort. And so sometimes it's just believing that we're on our way to a better place. Just have to scratch the fairy tale existence that things are gonna look perfect, turn out perfect, be easy, be carefree, and that's just not true. As we say yes to the things that God is putting before us, the enemy comes with all different type of things to knock us off, and he's really good at finding exactly what would knock us off course. And so, I mean, the task is pretty daunting. It's just a hyper focus of doing what we're supposed to do and not being distracted or knocked off because it doesn't look quite the way that we want it to. So if you want to know who you are, if you want to know what you were called to do, if you want to know how all of this works together for your good, I just encourage you to have this sincere relationship and ask this sincere question to the Father. Lord, what is it that you want me to be? And then be completely honest. I don't feel pretty enough. I don't feel good enough. I don't feel smart enough. If he's called you to be a housewife, or if he's called you to run a Fortune 500 company, who you are, he called, and he needs you. He doesn't need you to be Joe. He needs you to be you so that he can use you. He wants to use you. If he wanted her or him, and he would have got her or him, but he didn't. He got you. So it's very important that you not try to make yourself something or someone else, because he called you. With that encouragement, my sisters, I just pray that you guys really open up your heart to what God is saying to you, about you, and that you be honest about who you are so that he can come in and heal and fix some things, and stop hiding. Just say it. I'm insecure. Don't let it be taboo anymore. The longer you hide and sit on it, the longer it's going to take you to be better. And I don't want you to waste any more days of your life. You're not guaranteed any days. And I would just hate for you to waste your life away when this can be fixed today. It can be fixed today. Today. I love you all. Love you all in Christ. I'm looking forward to the next time we get together. If you have topics that you want to know about, please, leave them down below in the comment section. So where's the comment section? Because I know that I could not find the comment section on YouTube for a long time. It is literally at the bottom of the page. So you have to scroll through all the additional videos. Just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. So you get to the bottom and it says add a comment. If you have a comment, a question, please put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube. Send me an email at taylor.perkins@ymail.com so that I can get back with you. I love you. I'm looking forward to meeting up with you the next time we get together. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.